You make a choice and energy starts to run in. There's a vortex that's created. There's this whirlpool of energy. And you either lean into that and let it take you, and that's where you're in the synchronicity wave, or you keep using your logical mind and you stay stuck and you get frustrated and things will start to break. Things will start to fall apart. That's what it's like to be in the vortex. Like the things behind you, you release and it's like, it just crumbles. You can't ever go back. And you have no choice but to just keep moving forward and let that wave take you. And that's where the magic and the synchronicity really happen. Hello, friends, and welcome back to the podcast. Today, we're going to talk about probably the most important concept when it comes to your spiritual journey and when it comes to working with energy, which is following the vortex. That's what we're going to dive into today. I have been living this in a really potent way recently with everything that I've released and things opening up. And I want to share more about what that looks like with you. Before I jump into it, I wanted to share a couple of changes we made in Next Level You and the membership. If you're already in there, you probably saw the emails, but if you aren't, we have two tiers of the membership. So we have the regular Next Level You tier, which gives you access to all of the guided meditations and guided energy work so you can move energy in your field at home. So everything we talk about on the show, there is an at-home practice you can do to go along with that to actually make these vibrational shifts in your field at home. I want you to learn this. I want you to live this. It is actual magic in your life. That is the standard tier. We also have a higher tier called the highest frequency, which now is going to be home to all of the channel transmissions. So we are putting all of the oracle transmissions back in there. I know a lot of people wanted those. We were kind of just reworking some things in the background, but all of those teachings are going to be back in the membership. So if you love those teachings, if you want to go back to those teachings, if you have not yet experienced those teachings, I highly recommend going through the oracle teachings. They're very in-depth, along with the classic 30-day ascension activator. I know a lot of you listen back to that again and again. That is a full series of 30 channel messages from different ascended masters and light beings. And we are going to be putting in other channel teachings in there as well. So that is something I'll be adding to each month, and that is going to be the home base for all of the live channelings. I am feeling like it's really important for me to add a lot more to that body of work to make that more accessible, because we need these transmissions right now. And, you know, this morning I was talking to Yeshua and I was talking to Melchizedek. And I think, you know, for me in my mission, I kind of toggle between kind of what my human's excited about, but also what that mission actually is. And I have to get reminded of why those transmissions are so important, because a lot of people, this is like a whole other thing, but are getting stuck frequency wise, because what we actually need is a light code activation, which is why more people are getting called to light language, light transmissions, channel teachings, things like that. We actually need those transmissions in that frequency so that we can ground that frequency in, because we're literally stuck where we're at vibrationally, which is why people are having body issues and consciousness stuckness. When you get those transmissions from other dimensions, from other realities, from other levels of consciousness, essentially, that activates that coding in your light body and it opens up the field. So I see that visually, because I'll watch as when someone receives something that's actually a light code transmission, their field will start to rearrange and rework. And you might feel that in the moment. You might not. A lot of people do feel that difference in resonance. So it's a really powerful way to move beyond the subconscious and reactivate your soul knowing. That is what channeled teachings do. That is what I know a lot of you experience when you read channeled lessons. Like in my books, 3 of my books are fully channeled, and you will feel in your body tingles. You feel new ideas turn on. You feel things start to shift. That is the power of a transmission. So anyway, I just wanted to share that here so that everyone's up to date on the changes that we have made in the membership, which is really exciting. And I'm really excited to be working on more programs in the standard Next Level You tier. If you haven't already done the manifestation challenge, it's a 30-day manifestation challenge. It is one of the most powerful things you can do, and you can do it again and again and again, depending on what your intention is. And we've had community members with insane results. So I highly recommend checking that out. So if you want to try any of that on, we do offer a 7-day free trial. You can go to christinathechannel.com/membership, or just go to the link that we'll put below to test it out. But that is the home base. We are doing the work, and it's so magical for me. Like every single day I get messages about people's experiences and things that they have been manifesting and changes that have happened. And if it's anxiety clearing or limiting belief clearing in just one session, or body pain going away, or reducing a ton of inflammation, or they manifested their partner, or they just got a $10,000 check, whatever it is, like all of these miracles matter. And so we say, thank you. Yes, please, more please. And it comes back to us. Now, one of the things I will connect in here, I had a conversation with a friend relatively recently as I'm recording this, and he was talking about his intention. He was talking about something that he wanted to manifest. And when people are talking, I'm reading and feeling their field. And as he's talking, I was saying, okay, so I know that that's like your intention in your head, but that's not actually what is active in your energy field. So when I'm going into somebody's energy body, we will see the truth of what's actually active in your energy field. You can think something, or you can say, I really desire this, and your field can be something completely different. I'll give you a really common example. And this was actually different than his example, but a lot of people say, I'm ready for my partner. I really want my life partner. And their field is completely, I don't want a partner. Their field is completely, I want to be single. I want my life to not change. I'm afraid of being seen. I am afraid of vulnerability, XYZ. Two different things. And what's in your field is what you're actually attracting. What's in your field is what you're actually magnetizing in. And so the other thing is with money, right? People can intend, and this was this person's example. They were talking about things they wanted to deals they wanted to come in, essentially. And I was saying, okay, but in your actual field, there's no momentum. There's no energy flow in relation to these different deals that he was talking about. So it's just in an ideation phase. And so he thinks, like, and he's saying, yeah, this is my intention, but I'm like, you're not doing anything to actually move energetic momentum to actually work with the field. That is how things move in life. And this is the difference between things changing in your life and things not. A lot of people get stuck here. A lot of people get stuck in the ideation and in the mental plane. And this is one of the reasons why a lot of the work that's just mental and even subconscious doesn't do enough to actually move things in your field. That's why energy work is actually a cheat sheet or a fast track, because we are going straight to what influences your reality, which is your field. And we can start to create openings, create streams, add energetic momentum, orient your body to whatever it is you're looking to attract, realign things, all of that fun stuff. And that's where things start to actually move. So this is why I had posted recently a guided energy work practice inside of Next Level You. It's called From Intention to Reality, because this is one of the most important things I want you to learn. And that practice will guide you through actually allowing that to drop, that intention to drop not only into your body, but into your energy field, because that is what you are actually manifesting. So how do you take something from just an idea to an actual intention with energetic momentum that's moving in your field and driving you? This is the difference. One, you actually mean it. That's the main thing. You have to actually mean it. And then there is something that energetically indicates that you are opening up that stream and that you're committed to it. So in normal people language, the easiest way to do this is by making a choice. And I've been thinking about this a lot recently because I have been in such an insane flow. Like I feel my frequency and how much it has changed and how much things have opened up. And I was telling a few of my friends, I just feel like the amount of energy streams opening up in the last like 2-3 weeks, it's insane. I'm having so many people from my past reach out to me, and I'm reconnecting like at least 15 people from my past, all within a really short period of time. I've had so many opportunities and new people enter my life. Like literally more new people have entered my life in the last 3 weeks than in the last year and a half. I'm feeling within myself, just certain things like I was looping on, or I was thinking about or figuring out, like the pieces are finally coming into place. And the thing I always talk about, which I know it's hard to get until you feel it, but like you just feel this wave of momentum. You just feel that you are in that divine stream of synchronicity and alignment with your soul and where you're meant to head, and it carries you. And that's the difference. We're talking about actually feeling the difference between working for something or making it happen and magnetizing it, attracting it. I don't even have to be that specific with what it is. Everything that's entered my life has been things that, well, most of it have been things I never thought about, but I am meeting new people and having new opportunities, and things are just dropping in. And I have kind of like totally changed the whole flow of my life without intending to, because the stream is taking me there. And that's the difference. And I always come into a deeper appreciation of, the power of releasing. And I think about big releases I've made recently. And I've told a few people, I feel like the thing that really triggered this giant momentum wave and kind of started moving things in my reality in such an insane way was I decided fully I'm moving. And I was thinking about moving. I was saying I wanted to move for a while, but then I fully grounded in like, I am moving. And I haven't, as I record this, I haven't even found my place. Like I don't have those logistics, but I decided I am moving. Like we're already kind of setting things up business wise. I made that decision, and I felt something really powerful activate when I told my landlord. Like they reached out, hey, are you renewing? And I said, no, I'm not. I'm going to move. And when I said that, I was like, wow, that's real. And I felt that in my body. And that's when energetically we like collapse that in a grounded way into our field. And that's where it starts coming into the physical and working in the physical. And again, I want to point this out because I want you to understand the energetic mechanics. A lot of times we haven't pulled that all the way down into our physical in some real way. So it's just hanging out in this ideation place. And a lot of people keep most of what they want up in this ideation place. You have all kinds of things floating in your field. But when I'm looking at somebody's energy field, there is a difference in terms of what's just floating around out here, what's floating around up here, and what's actually grounded into their frequency that they are emitting, that they are, unconsciously using to attract, to pull things in, because that is the sign that other people see about you, right? Like that's a sign that's saying, hey, I'm single, or hey, I'm in a relationship. That you're not saying that verbally, but you can feel that from people. I'm open or I'm closed. I am grounded here, I'm settled here, or I'm on the move. Like we can pick these things up from people energetically. That's about what's actually grounded into your field down here. And so we have to bridge that gap. But here's the thing, I'm like, this will never cease to amaze me how much that choice changed things and how much releases did. And I was joking on social media, like the response to me moving has been so funny because, in the last decade of having the show, I've moved a lot of times and never have I had so many people messaging me about it. And it's been funny chatting with some of you guys about that, like why that is and just the energy around it. But somebody said, they were like, I feel like just a big energy around it. I'm not even moving far, which is so funny. And that's the thing. People can feel the energy around it because the bigness isn't the move. The bigness is kind of how it's affecting my frequency. But with that, the other thing that's been interesting is the reaction people have had to me closing Dreamland has been really telling about people's mindset. And this is what I'm going to tell you. I think most people just wait until things are shitty to let go of things. And my biggest releases I made recently have been things that have been great, like things that have been amazing. We love Dreamland. I love Dreamland. It's amazing. I put so much time, energy, love into this. We love being here. It's like our sanctuary, our safe space. It's like, I can't even tell you the magic that's here. And I know what's in my next chapter. And one of the most important spiritual lessons for you to learn and integrate and apply is not waiting for things to get shitty before you leave them. Can you trust your intuition and trust your next step and not need the contrast, not need this is horrible, so I know to let it go? Can we actually trust ourselves enough to say, hey, I feel this ahead of time. I know where I'm headed, so I'm going to choose that. Am I just reacting what's happening in front of me, or am I actively co-creating my future? I've had this conversation a lot with people recently who are coming up against these uncomfortable decisions. And I have seen this with a lot of people with relationships recently where they're like, I love this person and everybody around me tells me like they're amazing, but there's something deep within me that says this isn't correct. And it's really hard to trust yourself in those situations. That's when it's the most important too. And what I'll tell people is like, that's what it is to be a leader. To be a leader, you are picking up on things. You are perceiving things in the field that other people can't. So to them, why would you leave this? This person's amazing. The situation's amazing. You're in a great house. This is all great. You'd be silly to leave. That is not necessarily truth. That's just based on what they can see. And a lot of that is their own projected fears. That's what people do. They project in how they would relate to a situation, right? Like people who have made comments about Dreamland, I'm like, I can tell they cannot conceptualize creating a space like this and saying, I had my run, like, which is the truth. I intentionally only took a year lease because I only wanted to be in an office for a year. But I can feel people project in, well, I would never do that. That would be crazy because I want to, if I'm going to put time into something, I would never leave it. You have to pay attention to how you justify things. Or even the other big thing that happened, think about, okay, I chose to move, like fully chose. I set things in motion of like leaving these things that are amazing because I trust there's something better. I got my new car. And getting my new car was amazing. And just this full vortex of resonance and synchronicity. And, you know, the man who I was working with at the dealership was amazing. His birthday's the day after mine. Like everything was just so divinely orchestrated. And I could feel this vortex moving me. That's the thing about following the vortex. And I was saying this to somebody recently. I'm like, you make a choice and energy starts to run in. There's a vortex that's created. There's this whirlpool of energy. And you either lean into that and let it take you, and that's where you're in the synchronicity wave, or you keep using your logical mind and you stay stuck and you get frustrated and things will start to break. Things will start to fall apart. When you're in the vortex wave, things will also start to fall apart as well. I made this choice, you know what? I'm going to move. And immediately it was like, you need a new car. I'm like, okay, I'm just going to trust it. Like, you need a new car this weekend. Okay, I'm going to go do it. Things started falling apart with my car. Okay, that makes sense. Things happening with my house. Okay, that makes sense. It's like literally the visual is moving forward. It's like in the movies when the ground is falling from behind them and they just have to keep moving forward, and they're going to get to where they need to end up. But behind them, it's literally crumbling. Like it's just lava in a volcano or something. That's what it's like to be in the vortex. Like the things behind you, you release and it's like, it just crumbles. You can't ever go back. And you have no choice but to just keep moving forward and let that wave take you. And that's where the magic and the synchronicity really happen. But you don't get to be in that vortex unless you make a powerful choice, unless you make one, a clear choice that grounds in your intention into the reality, but two is in alignment with the truth of your soul. And here's the thing, we set intention all the time and we mean things that we have to pay attention to. And by that, I mean, when you say, I am committed to living my highest timeline, and you mean it, and I know you do, your soul is not going to let you not live your highest timeline. So stuff's going to start to crumble that you think is amazing. Stuff is going to start to crumble that's a 98% or even 100%, but that's not in alignment with where you're headed. And that's what happens when you make that choice that's in alignment with your soul frequency and your higher timeline. What you're expanding into is that vortex will take you and it will be strong and it will be powerful. And so the thing I always pay attention to is, again, just the entire energetic like texture and experience of my current reality. And when things are just like neutral or not much is happening, or if I'm feeling stuck or resistant, that's a clear sign I'm not in alignment. But if it's just feeling neutral, that's not like, I mean, nothing's good or bad, but for me, I'm like, okay, well, I'm not fully in alignment, because when I'm in alignment, the vortex, the wave is taking me. Like it's literally this invisible force that is moving you. Like the force is moving you. I've been rewatching all of the Star Wars. Great education. But it is moving you, and that's how you start to learn to work with energy, is you feel it. when people feel like they don't understand what I'm saying by that, I'm like, you haven't made the brave enough choice yet. You haven't made the choice that answers your soul's calling all the way. But things get really quiet or they get really still when we have an intuitive nudge or a choice to make and we don't listen. When we ground it in, again, when we bring an idea into reality, the wave starts to move. And if you feel like, okay, well, I have this intention, I know this is for my highest timeline, but things aren't moving, you have to bridge that gap. That's the difference energetically. And that's why understanding energetics and working with your field is so important. It can't just be up here. You have to actually collapse it into here. And when you do that, who you are, your identity, you start to become. And in that becoming, everyone around you feels your vibration. And I've just been laughing at like how many people are reaching back out to me, how many people are coming in. Like I can tell how many people are feeling my energy change and responding to that. You will see the signs. You will see the signs. I feel like it is so ripe right now, right? We are in a fast year. We are in a 1 year. We are in a year where energy is picking up. We are in a year where people are really splitting timelines. I mean, whoa, real loud. Yes. So you need to consciously choose what timeline you're going to be in. So if you're saying, I want to be in highest timeline, you need to be brave enough to make those choices to say, that's not just an idea. That's not a someday. That's not in 10 years. That is now, today, I'm living as this version of me. So what's the brave choice? What is my intuition telling me? Where am I really meant to go? It's supposed to expand you. And I feel like right now, like there's no room for contraction and there's also no room for standing still. We have to be expanding. There are periods to neutralize. Now's the time to expand. That's what it's like to follow the vortex. If you've had that feeling in your life, think about it. Think about the choices you made beforehand. Think about what happened during it. Think about the things that came to you. And then also think about times when things have felt stuck or you've been trying too hard. That feeling of, I know when the vortex is taking me and I'm just in this whirlpool of energy, that's what you follow. And that's how life gets to be when you're in full soul alignment. Don't be afraid to move quickly because really good things can happen. If you need help, if you feel like, I don't know if this is grounded in or things are not, I'm not in the vortex, do the From Intention to Reality guided energy work. It will bring you through that exact energetic process. We're getting to a point like, I think for a while it's like, okay, we can talk about personal development. We can talk about practical things. And yes, that still is it. But it's still important. But to be honest, the conversation we're having here and like what we actually need to be having, the conversation we need to be having is the frequency conversation purely. And when you start to do that, everything else starts to shake itself out. It's like going right to the root cause. So you can get a 7-day free trial if you're not already in Next Level You. Download the CTC app. It's all easy to do right on your phone. And trust me, life will never be the same when you figure this out. That's going to be it for today's episode. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I will chat with you again next time.